Yep.
So, you know, we have to somewhat forget about those. I think you can bring them in, but then it's just like, well, how much did it really matter? But what matters at the end of this one is who gets this dub and will secure themselves a second place finish at the halfway point of the winter quarter. And we'll have a definitive 1, 2, 3, and 4 by the end of this one through.
Yeah, you'd think so. Just having a quick look here from Zorkos' point of view. Just holding up at the top here. We do see Slazin, Dragons clutching up, and this is that kill train that we've talked about ever so slightly. Slazin does get in there, does manage to stop that domination.
Well, can he do anything about this one? Not quite. Physics and core though. Trying to get back into this one. They get B and C. Don't look too bad for them now. Slazin still going here as well. He was the one that stopped this from being a Regal Reserve round. And he's kept on going here, Fruit.
Yeah, he has. He's done pretty well. Points are pretty even still as well, even given that almost domination. So still things panning out early as the flashbang comes in now from Slazin, just delaying the Regal Reserve push.
And this is something from Rated R we don't see very often, them sitting back, waiting for the fights to come. But look, we can already see Marsh and Co making the rotation around towards B. It's a good play. I mean, Slazin's just basically commit suicide there.
Yep.
Don't really see why he did that, in fairness. But I mean, it's Rated R, let's be honest. They do like to fly.
Yeah, we saw that quite a lot against the EU's finest actually last week, where we saw situations that emerged from you know, you have to say it, dumb plays.
Yeah.
That they weren't making the correct decisions. And
it's just one of those, like, what are you expecting? To kill 3 of them on your own? Like,
yeah.
It's just a...
Even if you trade out, you're trading out on the back foot, which means they're going to kind of continue that steam, right? And in the end, sometimes it's just better just giving up on that play, right? Getting back to your team, finding another ring to maybe fight and play over Reader. Just got taken out. Reader right at the bottom of Arcadia leaderboard right now, just hovering above 1.0. So
you know, he
didn't
have a great start last season either, did he? He picked it up, if I remember rightly, but
it was just after we called him out for it, actually. So
well, Rated R looking like they're going to get this one done. Zorkos not in a position to do anything about it, but on the other side of the map, his team are. Zorkos will drop, but the respawns are going to come through. Are they going to be enough? He tried to bait him into it, but Reader this time will somewhat pad his stats there. It's 2 very, very easy kills. Trying to pick it up, the elimination nearly ticking on through, not quite going to happen. A elongated round here, but Rated are the ones in control of this as they do have the lead, but right now they have nothing getting them points. C has been captured, or will be captured by Regal Reserve on the back of the respawn, so they need to go through A here. Not getting any points, but they may be getting loads of points in a second. A and B going in their favour now. As the gunfights are won across the map. Is this looking like a Rated R round in the first? Grinding this one out, looking like it will be. Regal Reserve now made the push over towards B, but they also need to probably get a hold of A here. I don't think a 2-cap will be enough. It will not. Absolutely not. You need to be a lot closer for that one. This is going to be a Rated R round. Really good stuff by them to keep a hold of those 2 points. 1-0 now to Rated R.
Yep, and you know,
weird round.
It was a very weird round, and there was a fundamental mistake by Regal Reserve at the end there. And they were a second or so away from elimination victory. Marsh spawned up on his own, and Regal Reserve just ignored him. They let him spawn up, they let him come out of spawn. They gave him 4 or 5 seconds before his team were up behind him, and they went to cap that A hill instead. And if they'd have turned, they had a 3v1 on Marsh, they could have killed him and got the elimination victory in just a second. And that will be a stinger if this comes down to the wire, because that definitely should have gone in Regal Reserve's favour.
Well, Rated R, as I said, they grind it out. And it has to be said, it's not the type of round we ever see Rated R really win, is it?
No,
Rated R usually like bang, 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 round 1. It's like...
Yeah, all lost.
All lost, yes, it can definitely go in that direction.
Yeah. But it is all, you know, exit a basket and lob it at the opponent. And it's a difficult one for Regal Reserve to change that mentality, to change the way they play the game, because, you know, with strikers coming in, with Marsh coming in, sorry, there will be new opinions on that team, right?
Yeah,
about how you win a round, how you win a game.
Nah.
I mean,
just keep up the pace. Right now, though, it's not going in their favour. As Reader and Cougars are going to find kills. 2 down now for Rated R. About to come back up. Reader in a bad spot.
Yep.
Will be dropped. Dragons, is he going to be able to clean this up? Not quite. Can't get the shots into Fractures, though. Will clean this one up. Eventually will be killed by a Reader as well, but the supporting fire coming in for Rated R up top is very, very good. And look at this pinch coming in from C as well. Marsh has played that so well. Fantastic work by Rated R. They get a hold of C. They may lose A here, but really, really good job by Rated R there.
Yeah, that was a fantastic route through the middle there, just to get on behind Regal. Fantastic Lancer as well to take out Reader. And already Zorkos down 1 life. We said it, you know, before. Regal, they like to die. Honestly, they play the map well. They play rounds well and they scrape out wins, but they don't half like to die.
Well, gunfight going on here. It's looking like it's going in the favor of Regal. I say that as Dragons and Pains combine together to pick up 2. Dragons is dropped, but here comes the help as well. Zorkos, can he clean this one up? Yes, he can.
Nice.
Cougars gets the others as well. That's Regal Reserve now in control of this one. They will get a hold of B, but they lose A, and it's just ring around the rosy here. Rated R just about seemingly getting the better of them in the past 30 seconds, so Marsh did not quite capture A there. Maybe waiting on this team coming to help them out. Regal Reserve are the ones in the lead here. But it's looking like Rated R, they're most likely to pick up a 2 cap for some amount of time. Pains is going to get a hold of that flash off the rip, so hopefully can help his team with that in a second, but Rated R holding on to A after capturing it there.
Yep, Marsh getting away, skin of his teeth there, about 2% health as he does manage to get himself back out alive. Push going to come in from Regal though. Flashbang's down, Fractures leading the charge. Striker's going to take out Reader. Going to take out Fractures and Physics as well, and that's a very, very good fight for Regal Reserve. And now you got to think Zorkos might be in a bad situation. Nope, there's the up A, there's 1, looking for 2, just get a few shots down. 10 pellets hit or so. And Zorkos, that's the experience there, just understanding the routes that Regal Rated R will take through the map. Manages to get a couple of kills, stave off that push in the end. Good Lancer angle there as well from Zorkos, but Pains has managed to kill Cougars. Zorkos just running around in circles at the moment. Left Reader to fight on his own. Marsh going to fall in the end. Striker's trying to get some damage down. Fractures doing his best here now to try and get this cap. Reader misses another back A. Fractures going to save him though. Regal Reserve going to walk out. Honestly, look at the just look at the left-hand side. 0 deaths across the board. 0 I mean, look at the right as well. 0.
I just...
Did we expect anything different? I don't think we should have.
No, I don't think we did, but it will be a Rated R round in the end. With not many lives left on the board, so these next 2 rounds should be very, very interesting. I'm not quite sure how... I mean, the KDA is coming in from Rated R there. I mean, Matt will be doing his nut. You've pulled that up while the scoreboard's there, by the way. Send away.
We can see the scoreboard at any time.
Yeah, but
there you go.
You know.
There you go.
Matt hasn't said anything, but...
What do you want to say about the scoreboard?
Yeah, the hands are in there. He doesn't know. Do what you want. Doesn't care.
Whatever you want now. You give me this stream deck. This is what's happening. It's coming up when it wants, when I want. But no, we do look at the KDAs there. All of them pretty much bang average or below, and that's because they die a lot on the Rated R side. But wait till we see the Regal Reserve side in a minute, because you're going to love this one as well. We've not even seen the weapon placement. Shot grenades all around. It's all going sideways, all going pear-shaped.
You alright, mate?
We'll get there. I've caught whatever you had in the first map.
Yeah, God. Lacklusterness. Yeah. Oh.
Well, Slazer's doing alright at least. 15 and 5.
Come on, Slazer. Show us what you got, pal. Plenty of people dropping here already in this game. The lives are low. Let's see if we find ourselves getting into these crazy end of rounds. Big fight going to go over towards B. It is going to be Rated R in control once again. Though I think you were right on the front of just the pace that they can set around the map. They're just very well aware of what's going on. Their rotations are on point, and you know, maybe sometimes it's not necessarily, you know, the smarts coming out or anything, just aggression consistently on this map seems to work out for a lot of people. But Marsh is going to get a kill and back on down and get back with the rest of his team here to try and set up.
Yeah, and that's it. That's exactly what they've done. They've set up. They're holding a very, very good position. You can see it at the bottom left of the minimap there.
That's a bad flash grenade, though. That would have probably helped out Dragons, although... Oh my god, he does not need it. Everybody falling to Rated R here, who suddenly just flicker switch as they so often do. Zorkos in the worst position possible.
Yep.
Lancer down. by everybody on Rated R who have kept on rolling. This should be a round to them. I do not see any way possible that they even spawn back in. They don't. And that will be the round. Rated R flying through Regal Reserve here.
Yep. Yeah, fantastic round for Rated R. And they really are. They're playing this at an exceptional pace. The kills and deaths, yeah, they're reasonably even across the board, quite honestly. Only Slazin really a standout there. I'll see what they go in terms of weapons. It is up to Slazin to place first. Cougar's going to be able to reply. The M-bar goes down on one side. Are we going to see the reply? Yeah, we are. So M-bar versus M-bar now. That changes this map up considerably. Very low in terms of cover, this map, so very, very easy to pick off people with that M-bar.
Well, can it change anything for Regal Reserve? Because they do need to change something. Oh, line him up, hits him as well. Physics. Merely a flesh wound, unfortunately, for Dragons. He's good with his Dragons, isn't he?
He's very good. He just needs someone on his team to be shooting a pistol, you know.
Yeah, just tickle him with it.
Yeah, and they might be able to get a kill or two. Strikers gets one couple of kills. No, they don't need it. That's the thing. They can. Ooh, I was about to say they could switch, but.
Well, Physics is going to drop one.
Yep.
Dragons pulls it out. He wants it. Then Fractures now very, very weak, but not weak enough, unfortunately. And then Zorkos is going to find one. Dragons just starts going. He's finding two here as well. Can he do this all on his own? Surely not. Zorkos pin him down. Can anybody pin Dragons down? He's breathing fire across the map. What's going on here? Through there's three. Go on. Just give him the fourth at this point as well. Strikers comes in, spoils the party for everybody. But Dragons absolutely ruining Regal Reserve there in round number 4. That's 4-0. Oh my good God.
What a play. That was a fact. I mean, that's a highlight play right there for Dragons. But just his team around him didn't need to do anything. They were just, oh, we'll triple cap round you. Don't worry, mate. You carry on.
Absolute beast.
You carry on. Fantastic play. And, you know, if he had a little bit of support and fire as well, he might have got 2 M-bar kills as well to add to that tally. So
he couldn't have done any more in that round, in fairness.
Hit everything. What a guy. Fantastic plays. And, you know, he's always an exciting player to watch. You mentioned it when he picked up that M-bar. He's got a lot of kills in the past with that, both online at LAN and especially in the Pro League as well. He's kind of come into his own. He's been a fantastic player for Rated R. 4-0 now. This is not the scoreline I think I expected, even though I thought Rated R might come through with this. I didn't think it'd be in this fashion.
Well, one round away, yeah, from putting Regal Reserve to the sword. Dragons, he doesn't miss with this. Good Lord. One bullet in a Reader and he's gone. Dragons flash comes through. It's going to be hard for Reader to capture here. The way that Dragons is feeling about this now. Oh, he's choosing not to pull the trigger. He will have to run away as well as Zorkos is there to help. Bar out once again. Reader needs to find his kill. Strikers, really, he will do. Dragons pushing it in the middle of everybody is going to find the one kill. I'm not too sure it was.
No, me neither. I kind of feel like.
I mean, luckily for him, Rated R actually got a hold of D and F while all that has went on.
Yeah.
But you know what? I respect it.
Yeah, maybe after the last round.
It's just like, well, yeah, just give me more kills.
If I get 1, I'm even. If I get 2,
feed me.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, 4 members of Regal Reserve now pushing up towards D. Pains though. Surprise. Going to try and get around behind, but unfortunately for him, Slazin and Co. do go down. And we'll have to back on down. Marsh now going to die over towards E. That's going to be traded out by Dragons though. Who else? Can imagine he's going to absolutely fly at these 2 players. Let's see if he can get anything going. They're just going to keep him at arm's length as best they can. He's maybe just going to try and get away there by looks of things, but he's already been dropped, so unfortunately can't keep things going. But Regal Reserve now are behind, but in control of this round.
Yeah, just having a look at what Pains is going to do with this M-bar. His first attempt at this weapon, so.
Yeah, well, he'll do well to hit as many shots as Dragons has been hitting.
You ain't wrong there.
See the transition coming in there now.
There is opportunity, but just no bullets being fired across the map, to be quite honest.
You just got to hit them in the head, and you don't need to worry about that.
Well, let's see if he can do it.
Not quite land the shot on the Cougars. Oh, the second died that. So E now is going to go into control of Regal Reserve, but looking at this fight over towards F, that is going to go in their favour as well. Here comes the flash, the pushback coming in from Rated R. The other one's still in the lead. Slazen's going to find Zorkos. The shot's coming through. The kill's just about coming through for Rated R here. Marsh is the one cleaning up these trades. Regal have to hold on here. They are capturing other points on the other side of the map, but Dragons, as he so often does, just getting things done. And wow, wow, wow. Rated R you've really bodied my prediction of a Regal Reserve map #1 win. That is as clean as you could possibly like. Dragons, what a performance out of him, and that was very fast.
Yeah, that was much more week 1 rated R than it was week 2.
Yeah,
and
that was stunning too. Or can Regal Reserve force a map #3?
Oh, you saw the round win percentage, 83% for rated R. That's a very, very good. I think that's a 5-1, isn't it? Over Obey. But it is a very strong performance in the one time that they played this. That said, though, we have seen some good performances from Regal on this map in the past.
Yeah, Cougars are going to pick up 2 in the middle of the park as well, so helps things for them. They should be able to get a hold of B. They are going to. They did leave A, and that's maybe where they had the numbers in the middle. Dragons is just about going to defend, as he so often does when the numbers are against him. Looking over towards B, though, the Lancer Fire coming in from Dragons very, very quickly. Finds himself in a position to put Physics in a lot of trouble. He's very, very weak, and that will help the rest of his team run on through. Physics is dead, as is Zorkos. Zorkos is able to answer back there against Pains. But the damage is done. Rated R eventually get the kills. They will force on through. Dragons now in a favourable position of being down in numbers against Regal Reserve. Can't get anything done this time, though. Regal played this one much better.
Yeah, they're racking up some kills there. Fractures helping out. Cougars as well.
Yeah.
Nice little decoy jump there by Fractures.
Pains down to 2 respawns already as well, so a slow start to the round from him. He's in danger of going down to 1 as he tries to defend C, but A and C now in control of Regal Reserve. Backwards and forwards in this first round here, Fru.
It is backwards and forwards. Rated R, they have got that point lead, though. The good start, to be honest with you, has put them in a good position here going into this middle quarter of the map. Strikers finds a headshot on Cougars. Zorko's going to fall as well. 2 headshots in a row.
Strikers is just going here.
Let's jump on board, see if he can get this third as well, as he's looking for Physics, but might not be him. Physics managed to get one on Dragons. A little bit too close, perhaps, but...
Physics finding the best of a bad situation there.
That's it.
Regal Reserve now. Win condition in their favour. The lead's still just about rated R's. Fracture's going to flash in just to slow them down. He will try and get out, but I think he'll do very, very well to do that. In all fairness, I mean, it's Zorkos that kills him in the end, but I think he was probably just doing his teammate a favour. You kind of got to go down.
You got to think there if you're.
I mean, he's dead anyway.
He's in a bad spot, but if you see 3 members, of rated R killing your teammate up at Cinema, and you're holding the bottom, and there's some coming off spawn, you kind of got to assume that someone is going to come down that mid ramp and come behind you. So move earlier. You've got about 5 seconds before anyone's really in shooting distance of you. If you can get back to that bandstand. At least that's like a nice position to be holding and waiting for your team.
Maybe try and pick up a couple of kills.
Yeah. If you're stuck in the bottom there, down by the hotel, that's a very, very difficult situation to defend. And talking of difficult situation to defend.
Oh, that's a big hit on the Reader. Strikers isn't missing a bullet right now. 7-1. They've got a hold of B. The kills have come in their favour as well. These are long respawn queues, and Rated R will be allowed to garner control of the middle of the map here. They've got a hold of C. They've got a hold of B, and they've pretty much started where they left off on Vascot. Striker's just running forward. He knows that Regal Reserve have got a lot to do here. They're just going to try and keep a hold of their lives, if anything, although I'd imagine they obviously will reset at round number 4, but they want to try and keep a hold of as many of those as you can, which is difficult to do when you're playing against a rated R in this sort of form. 3 minutes and 9 seconds it took for that first round, the first pretty long one we've seen, but Cougars, the only ones that really answer back from Regal Reserve, they're rated R, walking through them there.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, 18 deaths across the board for Regal already. That's a lot of deaths in a single round.
Yeah.
And you got to be a little bit worried about your life count, even in this first half. As you said, they reset, but if you're losing all of them before end of the round 1, you got to be very, very careful.
Yep.
They got 3 respawns. They should be all right for now. Some smoke grenades going down on the map here. Hotel has one. Pagola has one. Obviously switching up again. It's nice to see this kind of offset weapon placements, because it does mean that teams play the map in slightly different ways.
Yeah, it's when we used to see the mirror matchups so much, it's like
I think that
it's just fighting fire with fire, and sometimes there's not really much like tactical gameplay around it. It was maybe a little bit stale at times, but it's nice to see that teams are mixing it up a little bit now for their own benefit, of course, as well. Right now, though, Cougars is trying to get something done. Oh my God, how on earth has Pains got through and found 2 kills in the middle of the map there? He's going to clean up on the fractures as well. Yeah. Really, really nice from Pains.
I think going back to the mirror matchup discussion just for a second, I think that was a lot down to just how strong the Marxers were at the start, though. It was very much You can see read a break. Let's have a look. Just get a toe in. Oh. Just get the kill. It was very much, you know, a have to place just because of the strength of it. You know, at the start of the fourth quarter at least. So there was not much surprise that you had to kind of mirror match their marks with one of your own just to keep strength up. But now the weapons are in a bit of a better state, I think. And
100%.
Things are starting to be a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more flat across the board in terms of what you can place and where you can place it. You can just choose what you're comfortable with.
Strikers and Kodo are going to get a hold of B here. C is it currently at the mercy of Regal Reserve. They should be able to pick that one up. Physics getting the kills coming in here for Regal, which they needed to do so, as ANC belongs to Rated R, who have a pretty decent lead over them and have control of 2 points.
Yep. Fracture's gonna come behind Pains here, and this is the exact same situation that we just talked about before, but in reverse this time around. This time around, Marsh is also in the corner, so 2 of them gonna fall for Rated R, and again, have to start respecting the kills and the location of those kills, because otherwise you're gonna get caught off guard and get pincered upon.
Rated R maybe losing C, but they've rotated over towards B, so they will maybe get a hold of that. It is actually going to be Slazen who does drop down. Just keep an eye on Cougars after 1 round. He's already on to 0 respawns, which is not good. Not good at all. He's going to have to play very, very passively. He doesn't want to find himself in a position where he's constantly fighting with very low live count. Zolkos and Fractures both also Physics not far behind them. Slazen's there as well. So these guys quite happy to just fight fire with fire. But here comes Rated R, the push over towards C. It's not something they need so fast, but they're going to go fast for it anyway. Look at the shots coming in from top blue as well, from Cougars. Can Rated R clean up yet? They were at such a disadvantage going into this fight. Slazen and Co combining together though, and it's only Zolkos who is left. He has to back on down. Cougars is out of this round. Zolkos is about to be sent to the respawn queue as well, and Rated R flicker switch just once again. It's just so simple for them. It's so simple.
It really is. They're doing fantastic work just to find these kills, to grind out these fights. And every time they're coming out on top.
Yep.
That's the most impressive thing.
It's like the team fights, isn't it? It's not so much about these big one-on-one good fights, although it is at a point as well. But
I mean, they're winning those as well.
They're winning those too, but it's when it comes to these big team fights, they just seem to have that one-up on the trade every single time. Rated R are making this potentially one of our shortest games that we've seen here. Drop shot placed in the middle, and that was actually by Rated R as well. So they, again, are encouraging these big fights in the middle, which they just seem to win nearly every single time.
Yep. Yeah. I think, though, sometimes... I think we've said that. I kind of feel like we mentioned this before when the Regal Reserve and Obey were playing. Sometimes it is that weapon that forces Regal Reserve to actually get in there and play scrappy, to play dirty. And sometimes that does actually work out in Regal's favour, that they've got something to play for, but this time around it seems not. It seems Rated R still have the numbers, still have the kills in their favour.
Oh, they've committed absolutely everything to this drop shot as well, though. I think that's what's caught them off guard. Pain's just rolling. So nice there. And he's going to go back, get a hold of that drop shot. They clean them out before they go back and pick up the goods that they have earned. Slazen. Nearly put one into his teammate.
That was a swarm. Yep, got to be careful there, but...
Yeah, now that he's just going to back him down, wait for this drop shot to then potentially come into play. It's going to be Pains finding this one in green now. Dangerous position to be in with it. He's going to have to back on down. Doesn't want to drop with the drop shot.
Yep, just going to go back and defend B Hill. I think that's a good
It's a horrible push for Rico. Like, what do you do here? Because Pains can move across to here. He can cut off C. He's actually just going to pass that one over to his teammate, who's going to choose to move over towards the left-hand side to defend B with this spot.
I like that. I like that as a trade. It's a good idea.
But I actually wouldn't mind if Pains kept a hold of it where he is. He can look over towards B. He can then transition in blue over towards the bandstand side as well. It's a great position to be in with it.
The problem is if something kicks off in the far end down at the bandstand, Pains is going to be the first one to rotate, and more than likely he's going to have to get stuck in with his shotgun, just because of the route that he's in. Or he's going to have someone come shoot him in the back. So that's the only reason I like that, is just to basically puts the drop shot in a bit of a safer position.
Yeah.
And opens up Pains to just kind of get loose a little bit.
Well, Physics is not in a safe position, even remotely right now. He's got quite a few members of Rated R around him, and I tell you what, he's doing all right here, Physics. Just to get a hold of Marsh, and he will deny The domination coming through. He is going to take a meaty shot there. Pains pushes around it, loses the gunfight for the first time. Physics coming up big for his team there over towards B, and that's Rated R maybe getting a little bit overzealous, but Zorkos is once again out of lives. Cougars, Fractures, not far from that either. One more time they go down. They will not be coming back in this round. Rated R now surely in a 5v4. I mean, they're doing it in a 5v5, never mind a 4v5. Zorkos is gone. Cougars and Fractures having to fight, and they are actually winning these fights over towards C. They need to win every single gunfight they now come into contact with. There we go. Reader's now going to go down as well. Cougars is dropped. This is a round. Rated R, who just look unstoppable against Regal Reserve right now.
Yeah, Striker's just giving it to his old team here. They dropped him. They changed him out. They replaced him with Fractures, and well, now Strikers, he looks to be playing very, very well. 16-5 the score, but absolutely nowhere near Dragons, who's up on 24 eliminations already.
Dragons is really good.
You ain't wrong there. Pains as well. 21-4. We're gonna give him a bit of credit. 2100, 69 points there, and just leading the charge really. He's been first down in third fights. He's been doing a lot of work for his team. Let's have a look what got placed there. There's some smokes, shocks up at the top, just to help fight on this drop shot. So see how the teams use these. Zorko's going to be picking up a shot grenade. Dragons on the other side.
Oh,
here comes the
flashes. That's a wayward flash on the side of Regal Reserve as well. Cougars is just going to go in for the drop shot. Read it. He's going to drop Marsh. That late shot grenade comes through. Striker's just going against his old team, trying to get something done. Lands a decent enough shot, but can't quite get it done. This is the first time that Regal Reserve have actually seemingly answered back against Rated R.
Yep.
There's time yet, though. There's two of them still around here up top, but it's a 2v4 situation to be in. Slays in, Dragons dead. B in the hands of Regal Reserve. But for all that, Regal did commit a lot to that, as did Rated R. They only get a hold of B. Yes, okay, they get a hold of C eventually, but
they're gonna take this drop shot as well, right? One shot left in it.
Yeah, that's a positive too, but Rated R still within the potential for a 10-0 round count here.
Yep.
I don't think we've had one of them in the EU Pro League yet.
Nope, there was one last night in the NA Pro League.
Right. Okay. Well, let's see then.
Perhaps we can match him. I'd rather not, to be quite honest with you. I think a 10-0
I mean, it would be something.
It's something. It's a good performance from Rated R.
Hey, I don't know. We might get you home for Love Island, yeah, pal.
Hopefully. You're not on it this season, are you?
No, mate, no.
That's good. Glad. There goes the drop shot.
The drop shot comes through, slays and goes down. It's looking like a potential round for Regal Reserve, but there's plenty of time to play with yet. Strikers finds a second as well with the help of his teammate Zorkos. It's not long for this world. Cougars is already back down to 0 respawns, and this is the problem. If you look at Slazen as well, he's there as it too. But for Cougars, it's like every single round he's been teetering on the edge, and he hasn't been playing slower at all. And Rated R are the ones now getting a hold of C, and they will be in control of the map.
I mean, Regal are having trouble getting out their own spawn, never mind about capping a ring. This is difficult for them.
Cougars is gone once again. I don't think he's played for most of this game. Fractures also gone, now a 5v3. And this is just, I mean, they put themselves on the back foot straight from round number 1 because they grinded out to try and get a win, didn't get the round on the board, and just fell far too many times. The problem is now they don't really have time to try and rest and recuperate. You can't just say, right, let's try and have a conservative round here, see if we can get something going just to build our lives back up. Of course, we are at the halfway point, so they are going to be able to build their lives back up, but...
Yep. Honestly, what a performance from Rated R.
If you're Regal, though, you're very, very right. They like dying. Hey, look at that.
I've been saying it week in, week
40,
out.
51 deaths already.
Someone got to listen to me. Because, yeah, they do. They die too much.
I hear some people do listen.
Occasionally. Every now and again. But honestly, they do. They die too much. It's difficult for them to come back in games like this when...
It's crazy, isn't it? Like,
you're always
I mean, you said at the beginning of the game, Regal Reserve die too much. Rated R are possibly... well, they are the second best slaying team in this Pro League on their day. Potentially the best fast-paced playing team in the EU Pro League. EU's Finest will argue against that for me, but I think EU's Finest all-around game is much better, obviously. But when Rated R are flying at you, there aren't many better teams at it. And I mean, it's becoming very, very apparent that Regal like to die because they're making it very easy for Rated R and dying quite frequently at it as well. Physics is going to drop down Pains eventually, and they will once again get the drop shot. But does it really matter at this point?
I'm not sure it is. Dragons is once again trying to find another montage clip.
Does find
Perhaps
two.
the drop shot comes out. Doesn't get anything. Does damage Dragons. Dragons might fall here.
Wants to try and stay alive. The rest of his team there to support. Fractures goes down.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, domination is denied.
Dragons.
Over towards D. Cougars thankfully gets a kill on the Dragons. If that doesn't happen, we are staring down the barrel of the quickest game we've ever seen in the EU Pro League. Now, if you're Regal Reserve, at this point, yes, you're 4-0 down. Let's try and prevent the fact that you are going to possibly lose 10 rounds in a row here.
That's it. I mean, if you're Regal and you come back and win this, it's also potentially, I mean, it's a big if.
I mean, that's
potentially
a big reach.
the biggest comeback in the EU Pro League as well, so
That's a big reach.
records to be broken, either way.
The biggest comeback would be if everybody dies, apart from Cougars, right? 0 respawns, and then they come back.
Be true. That would be true.
I find it unlikely, though.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't put no money on that one.
Honestly, I don't think Regal Reserve are going to win around here. Rated R just seem to be on a different level right now. Slazer, nope. Is in a different place in the respawn queue. The rest of his team are alive, but it may not matter. Reader does just get away. He's going to be hunted down, though. The rest of Regal Reserve are going to be coming off spawn, so they may be able to prevent this in a second. They're going to have to make a run towards E. They are just about going to get there. And Zorkos to deny potentially the inevitable, because at this moment in time, Rated R just don't seem to be misstepping against Regal.
Good Lancer fire there from Zorkos.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, we are pulling at strings here, pulling at straws, whatever it is. So
Grasping at straws, pulling at straws.
Pulling at strings on for first, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what's
pulling
going on.
strings is different. You
yeah.
alright?
No, I'm not.
Was it the Love Island comment?
I don't know where it's guys. Started weeks ago, this. But what is... I don't even know. I actually don't know.
What were you going to say?
I don't know. I've no idea.
I mean, what can we say? Rated R.
Reaching at straws.
God's sake.
Oh, I don't know.
We've descended into madness. Rated R. Looking so good here.
Oh,
there we go. Dragons is just going to stick a drop shot right in there. Fractures and Cougars going down. Is there anything they can really do about this?
Not really.
Read it. We're in round number 5. He's got 1 respawn left. Rated R have just put them to the sharpest of swords yet.
Yep. Yeah, this is...
They have battered them around each and every corner of this map.
Go on, Cougars.
Cougars, show me. I mean, nothing they can do.
They're not even moving.
Zorkos is gone.
They know it's done.
This one is done. That's 10
Lots
rounds
of performance
to
from Rated
0 for Rated R. 5-0, 5-0 against Regal Reserve in the most one-sided game we've seen in the EU Pro League. Full stop.
Yep.
That was dominant.
That was indeed.
I mean, we said after map number 1, if they played the same way, that could be as quick as that, and it was.
It was indeed. 40-6.
40 eliminations in 5 rounds. What?
I mean, he's MVP, but fair enough. I mean, I know what you're tweeting out.
Oh, mate. Matt's making the graphic already. 5-0. 5-0. Dragons just... I mean, he played phenomenally, but the rest of the team did their job as well. They just hammered them. Yep. Absolutely hammered them. Regal Reserve are going back to the drawing board, making a new drawing board, and trying to figure out what the hell went wrong there, because Rated R just literally ran a train through them. That is insane. 5-0 on Vazcar, and 5-0 in the exact same fashion on District, with Dragons just causing so many problems. And wow, I mean, what do you say about that, apart from well played to Rated R? Regal Reserve, you need to show up better next week.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I honestly don't think there's much more breakdown than to say Regal Reserve were not on their game. Yeah. Rated R were 100% on their game, and they looked very, very, very good.
You see, it just annoys me. Could they not? I think it's just like, at the same time, we'll say, could they not play like that?